Welcome to all of you. And in today's mentoring session, as usual, I'll be starting with the weekly sectoral analysis with the top-down approach. On the right-hand side, I'll be sharing with you the weekly and the monthly time frame charts. And on the left-hand side, I'll be sharing with you the daily time frame charts. And as usual, let's start with the monthly time frame chart. In the monthly time frame chart, we can see very clearly that the prices are trading within the dual moving averages. So it is a clear thing that it is no trend as of now. It is a consolidation phase in the monthly time frame chart. And one more thing which I have seen, that we closed below this particular support, this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. But the candle which we saw over here is not a very strong negative candle. If it was a strong negative candle, then I think this pullback wouldn't have been so sharp and it wouldn't have been so big. From 15,210, we have managed to pull back by almost 1,000 points in Nifty. I think it wouldn't have been such a big pullback. Even if a pullback would have come, it would have been a smaller pullback. So despite of breaking this particular support, we have been able to bounce back. Now let's have a look in the weekly time frame charts in Nifty futures. In the weekly time frame charts, I think it's clear that we are still in a downtrend and this is just a mere pullback. It is nothing more than that. And if you check properly, I'll just try to highlight one level over here. You can see this particular level. You have confluences of few candles. So I believe this particular level, 16,350, this could give decent resistance to Nifty futures in the weekly time frame charts. If you are able to close above this and sustain above it on at least a weekly basis, probably we could head higher in Nifty futures. All right. But this could provide some sort of resistance to Nifty futures in the weekly time frame charts. In the daily time frame charts, yes, I do agree that in last 2 days, we have been consecutively closing above the two dual moving averages and it signals an uptrend. But question is how strong the trend is, because I believe majority of the money is made in the market when the lower time frame and the higher time frame charts both are in the same trend. If you see over here in 2020-21, when we were in an uptrend, even the weekly and the daily charts both were in an uptrend. When such situation emerges, generally that is a time when you will make the majority amount of your money in trading. But currently that is not the situation. Plus one more thing which I have noticed, when this pullback started somewhere over here, I think the date is 29 June. From that day onwards, slowly and steadily, yes, no doubt it was a volatile move, but overall close was on the upside. And when these prices were going higher on closing basis, volume was shooting also up, which is good sign. But in the recent 3 days, prices have inched higher and volume has come down. So this is really very, very strange to me. This is really very, very strange to me. And now what does it signify? It is very, very clear that somewhere over here, traders were feeling, or the bulls were feeling, till this level, I think it is fine that the Nifty could go. But above this, I mean, I don't know how many people are convinced, but if I'm not wrong, I was just having a look at many of the WhatsApp groups and many social media platforms. Majority of the people, I think, majority of the people were aiming for 16,000 or 16,100, this particular level. Probably market would test this level and maybe after that markets will come down. This is what majority of the people were assuming. Okay. And I have always felt one thing, that whenever majority of the people are thinking about this, majority of the consensus are thinking that 16,000 or 16,100 could be tested and then markets will reverse on the downside. Then I think that will never happen. What could happen, that market may not even test 16,000. It could reverse before that and it could make a new low, or maybe at least head downwards. And the other probability could be that Nifty could go much higher than even 16,100, which we are already witnessing. We are already seeing 16,225 on the cards right now. All right. And there is a possibility that if prices to sustain the level which I gave over here in the weekly time frame chart, 16,350, if this is surpassed somehow on a weekly basis, we may see even higher levels. But again, guys, understand one thing. You might feel that even if there is a very big candle over here, do not forget it will be just a pullback, because yes, in the daily time frame charts, the charts may look very, very nice. I completely agree with that. But in the weekly charts, even if we head towards 16,600 or maybe even 17,000, it will just be a pullback. Until and unless we do not close above 17,100 with a very powerful, overall powerful looking chart, it's very difficult to say that we are in a sustained uptrend. We need to understand that. So till this rally is continuing, enjoy it, make money if possible. And if it U-turns, we'll see what to do. If it doesn't make a U-turn, if it continues rallying, we might change our overall stance, but this is what it is as of now. And there is no point of prediction that यहाँ पे टॉप बन जाएगा या मार्केट यहाँ से घूम के नीचे आ जाएगा or we'll see 17,100. There's no point of giving any big or predictions as of now. Just let's go with the flow of the market right now. That's what I believe. Banking index. Now, if you see properly, banking index is looking slightly more strong in comparison to Nifty futures. And the main reason, according to me, is the monthly time frame charts, not the daily and not the weekly. What has actually happened is that it has been able to test this entire zone. This zone is basically a very strong support band, as this was the previous high in 2019 June and 2019 December. Plus, there was a candlestick cluster over here in, I think, 2021 starting first quarter. So this is a very strong support, and from there we have been able to bounce back. In the weekly time frame chart, I believe we are still in a downtrend, and currently I think slowly and steadily we are moving towards state of trend, where the state of trend in the weekly time frame charts could turn very, very flat very, very soon. I think the next resistance in Bank Nifty futures could be 35,570 or 580, which is not very far from here. All right, it's not very far from here. And if this rally continues, we could hit that particular level. Again, one thing is very, very similar in this rally. If you see this particular volume activity, prices were going up and the volume was increasing. And in recent 3 days, price has risen tremendously with really good amount of momentum, and the volume has come down. So it shows that people somewhere at this level were probably comfortable to buy for higher levels. But now in last 3 days, especially from this level, I don't think many people are comfortable, and they are probably thinking that markets may not sustain at higher level. Now, will that happen or not? I seriously don't know. We need to wait and watch, because what has seriously happened is PSU banks are outperforming very, very nicely. If we compare private banks and if we compare PSU banks are acting as if there is no bearishness in the market. That is what I seriously feel. And I'll come to that point. But it seems that Bank Nifty, after FMCG pack and after auto pack, this is the sector which is probably trying very, very hard to outperform. Now, will it be successful or not? I think obviously time will tell. At least it needs to make a new high and surpass this particular level, which is not very, very easy. If this level is taken off, and then if we again make a new low, probably games would change. But I think we need to wait and watch, and there'll be some time taken for this entire process. I don't think it might happen that fast. All right. Now, if you look at the private banking index, then we can see we have a hammer in the weekly time frame chart. Then we have a second hammer. We have a bullish bell tool. Again, the trend is still down. We are just in a pullback mode. If this rally continues, we probably could hit the next level somewhere over here, 17,968. But one stock, I think, which has outperformed and which could continue to outperform is HDFC Bank, because HDFC Bank, this is the support which I have been sharing with all of you since I think many months now. From this support itself, HDFC Bank is seeing a lot of buying coming in. No doubt that the trend is still flat in the weekly time frame charts. But if this pullback continues, we do even have resistance at higher levels somewhere over here at 1429 because of this candlestick cluster, and this same level 1429 is possibly a gap also. So overall charts in the HDFC Bank are looking good because you can see a rise in the volumes, prices are going up. But if you want this to continue, I think this level has to be taken off from 1429, 1435 to 1461. This entire band is a very strong resistance. If this stock wants to head higher, then I think this particular level needs to be taken off. And if this stock is able to do that, it is a very big heavyweight. I think it might impact the overall market as well. So I think we'll need to wait and watch and see how it performs. But if you see this entire swing from, if I give this particular swing 0.1 and 0.2, it has been able to strongly pull itself. It's almost near this 100% retracement. If we close above this and even above this, then I think this will be a very, very good, meaningful rally. PSU banking chart. PSU banking chart, if you compare private banks over here, if you check private banking charts and if you check in comparison to the PSU banking charts, things are very, very different. Over here, no doubt the trend is flat, and over here you can see even the trend is flat, but the amount of momentum which we have seen is really, really encouraging. Even over here, if I'm not wrong, we are still in a downtrend because we have yet to make a new high. But two stocks which I can see interesting, one is obviously SBI. SBI has given a beautiful breakout in the weekly and in the daily time frame charts. In the weekly time frame charts, it's looking okay. In the monthly time frame charts, it's looking average, not outstanding. It's looking average. But in the daily chart, it's looking amazing. So I think if the bank Nifty wants to outperform, it will need help from HDFC Bank. It will need obviously the help from SBI, and one more stock which is looking even more stronger than both of these stocks is Bank of Baroda. Yeah, here we have. So you can see over here that the stock is trying to give this breakout over here. We have tremendous amount of volume breakout over here. It's not just a price breakout, it's also a volume breakout. It's, I think, one of the highest volume since this day, since March of 2022. And this is a very nice move. If you are able to sustain about this high for a couple of days with very good levels, with very good candles, then I think we'll see higher levels coming up in this stock. So I think positional traders, swing traders should keep a watch on the stock. Metals. Last week, I think I had made my stance very, very clear that the trend is certainly down in the weekly time frame chart. In the monthly time frame chart, we are taking support from this previous high, and the trend is flat in the monthly time frame chart. And in the weekly time frame chart, the trend is down, but we are extremely oversold. Very big, strong hammer prices away from the moving averages. So personally speaking, as a trader, even if I have any swing short trade in my system for metal stocks, I would probably avoid it. If it is extremely, extremely strong signal, I would, even if I go short, I would try to hedge my position. But still, as a person who's trying to be 50% mechanical and 50% manual intervention oriented, then I would say that I would concentrate on some other sectors for swing trades or positional trades rather than metal pack. I would give it time to possibly consolidate, to possibly give a decent pullback. And if you can see from last 4-5 days, overall the prices have moved higher. They have not moved lower. Yes, today's move was looking that possibly the rally which happened today will be negated and we would have a very big red candle, but still this was stopped somewhere over here. Now we'll see on Monday what happens. Now, if metal pack wants to go higher, then I think this is the stock which could try to do something good to the metal pack. The reason for this is I think we are trading at a very strong support in the weekly time frame chart. We have a doji, we have a high wave candle at supports clearly shout that I'm not interested to go any more down. I'm extremely over exaggerated, over extended on the downside, and that's what Tata Steel charts are signaling as of now. But this is not a sign to buy. Even if this pullback happens, suppose whatever view I'm sharing, if it goes wrong, fine. I don't mind. I would probably avoid trading in it. But if it goes higher, I'm not a person who tries to trade pullbacks. I'll just stay put. I'll leave it and I'll give its time. And then after the pullback is over, I'll do my analysis and then I will take a trade because I'm a swing trader. I'm a trend trader. I don't trade pullbacks at all. All right. So for time being, I'll just avoid trading in the metal pack. Auto pack, as I shared in my last few videos, it has continued to outperform beautifully. Maruti, I think apart from Tata Motors and Bajaj Auto, I think due to some reason it did give a gap down and now it is again coming up. Overall, it's consolidating. I think it's horribly consolidating in the weekly time frame chart. You can see the RSI, you can see the daily time frame, but it's still able to managing to stay there. So apart from, you can say Tata Motors, I think all of the stocks have outperformed very, very nicely. Tata Motors have just started to move in the last couple of days. First thing is we need to close above this previous high, then we'll see what to do about it. But overall, I think Auto Pack is looking amazing. But if you see properly in the daily time frame chart, what has happened is that prices are a little bit over exaggerated on the upside. In the weekly time frame charts, things are absolutely fine. But in the daily time frame chart, we have hit a short-term resistance. So maybe in few stocks, not in all the stocks, possibly stocks which are slightly overstretched and little bit overbought. Probably there you will see some sort of consolidation, maybe a little bit of profit booking, just tad bit, just little bit, not a lot. But apart from that, overall, after the consolidation is over, I think prices will continue to move higher. Finance pack, I think the trend is clearly showing us currently the prices are trying to bounce from this previous high, which was in the December 2019. And it was tested again twice, once in Jan of 2021 and again in April of 2021. So we are seeing decent amount of buying coming here. Probably this pullback might continue on the upside and we could hit this resistance. Once we hit this resistance, then what happens is more important because it's not a very strong looking chart because whatever is happening over here is just a pullback. Once we test this particular resistance will try to push the prices down. Now, if bulls are extremely strong, then they will try to surpass this entire band. I think we'll need to wait and watch what happens in the next 1 week. Then we'll see what to do. IT pack. IT pack, if you see properly, we do have a gap over here in the daily time frame chart, in the weekly time frame chart, and the RSI is oversold low. It was, but prices have tried to come out. And after many attempts to go down, IT pack is not able to possibly show a sustained move on the downside. I think what IT pack is trying to do is it's just consolidating sideways because after this candle, 3 weeks continuously, 1, 2, and 3, prices are going sideways. I think it might try to fill this gap. And once this gap is filled, then probably we'll come to know what things would happen in IT. But the way overall charts are shaped up, it would not be a very good risk reward ratio to go and sell here because we are near a support. If there is a pretty decent pullback and after the pullback, if we get a chance possibly to sell, it would be a good risk reward ratio, but that is our expectation. Our expectation should be kept aside to what markets are trying to give us, and we should be accepting what market gives us rather than having our own expectations. So we need to wait and watch and understand how things are going to react in the market, and then we'll come to a decision. As of now, it's very difficult to say anything in the IT pack. Pharma, if you see that it's trying to give a decent pullback, the trend is down. This was the resistance which Pharma was trying to clear, which it has able to clear very comfortably. Now, this is the second resistance in the daily chart. This is the weekly time frame chart. This is the daily chart. Once I think this is cleared with a pretty decent candle, then I think we'll see the pullback continuing in the pharma pack. FMCG pack, I don't think I need to say anything. It has been outperforming, and it is one of the sectors due to which the markets have been able to pull back. And I think things are clear that prices are pretty much away from moving averages. You can take any stock you want and you will be able to understand what I'm trying to say over here. You see ITC prices are overinflated, Hindustan Unilever, you say Godrej Consumer, if you see Britannia, in all of the things, same case study you will find. So I think some sort of consolidation, if it happens, then I think overall risk reward will improve for swing traders to go long in these stocks. So I think swing traders should keep a very strong watch on these stocks. Realty Pack is trying to take good support from this level, which was a resistance earlier. Now it is a very good support. You can see over here. And the candles which have been made are pretty decent, not extremely encouraging, but they're fine. First thing is it will need to surpass this support band if it wants to continue this particular pullback. If this particular level, if this particular band is taken off with a pretty decent big green candle, we might see higher levels coming up in the market. Okay. Consumption pack, I think I did share this on Twitter also. Consumption pack is one particular sector which is recently in last few days tried to outperform. What it has done is basically this was the previous high, this was the previous low, and this was the new low. And after making a new low, rather than making a lower high, it made a higher high. So after this higher high, if we manage to make a higher low, which will be higher than this one, all right, somewhere over here or here, anywhere, and then if we start moving up, this will be a very good sign that bulls have taken control in the consumption pack. So I think people, especially swing traders, should keep their eyes open for consumption pack, because stocks, the number of stocks in consumption pack are really, really huge. And if this happens, you might get a flurry of trades coming in your swing trading setups. Mid-cap index. Mid-cap index, I think it's in a downtrend, no doubt about that. If we check the monthly time frame chart, we do have a hammer and a green candle, but this green candle is not very, very strong. As of now, it's not strong. If we have a green candle closing above this high, things might change and we'll need to wait and watch. And there are two reasons why it could be very important. One is green candle closing above the high of a hammer is important. Second thing, this high of this hammer is also the high of the previous high in the daily chart. So this will be a very big sign, a very positive sign for the mid-cap index. All right. So we need to wait and watch and understand. So I think wait and watch, I have repeated too many times in today's video, but that is what it is, and that is how markets are placed as of now, because prices are rallying in the daily chart and possibly small uptrends have started showing in the charts, but in the weekly charts, trend is still either flat or either down. So at times what can happen if you buy a breakout in the daily chart, and if the trend is flat or down in the weekly time frame chart, it could happen that after buying immediately in next few days, you will hit your stop losses. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very precise which particular sector, which particular stock you're trading in. Do not just watch the Nifty and trade. Currently, the market is trading in such a manner where knowing which sector is outperforming, which sector is underperforming is very important. And out of that sector, which particular stocks you want to pick, that is very, very important. And according to me, next couple of weeks are going to be very, very important, and be very, very, very thorough and precise if you are initiating any trades. All right. So I hope this particular video will help you to understand how markets are going to move in the next week. Trade well, trade wisely, and stay safe. Thank you.